We are certainly looking at land now
Right,
because we've
there
got
we
the
go.
sea very well under control. We've had a couple of days
We
where there
are
isn't a
all the
boat
way
to be
live.
found. And that I view that as a good thing, not a bad thing. But we had tremendous amounts coming in by boats, by very expensive boats. You know, they have a lot of money, very fast, very expensive boats that were pretty big. And the way you
And
look
she's
at
coming
it is
down
every
right now?
boat that we knock out,
All
we
right.
save 25,000 American lives. So every time you see a boat and you feel badly, you say, wow, that's rough. It is rough, but if you lose 3 people and save 25,000 people, these are people that are killing our population. Every boat is saving 25,000 lives, and you can see it. The boats get hit, and you see that fentanyl all over the ocean. It's like floating in bags. It's all over the place, and it's a tremendous. We're saving tremendous amounts of lives. Yeah,
Mr. President, on that issue,
We're saving tremendous amounts of
I have a question for you,
lives.
and then I also have a question for Director Patel. I know you talked about
All right, get into something that
having
will
some,
help me with the market, bro.
distaste for Boston recently. Is this one of those cities?
I know, I'm waiting for Greenland to come up, right?
Yeah, I want Greenland to come up, bro.
You're saying for mayor?
Talk about Greenland.
Yeah, well, Boston has a bad mayor who at
Hey, are
least
you
is
gonna go and see
a
the tree?
reasonable IQ person. You know,
Huh?
most of them are low IQ, but and they're so bad. I mean,
not right
what's
now.
going
Fuck
on
no.
in Chicago is just, you'd think the guy would say, "Hey, look, we have a problem, Mr.
'Cause at
President.
any moment
Could you
he could
come
say
in
some
and
stupid
straighten
shit
it
and
out?"
that you
I
get
could have
fucked.
that. We could have that done in a month if we had their cooperation. It's going to be done anyway, but we could have it done in a month. Yeah, Boston. She's got 4 areas that are, wrong.
Say something about Greenland, dog.
Somebody said, would we think about taking the World Cup away from
Welcome to the
Boston
good show,
if
guys.
they don't
We are
straighten
watching
it out?
Trump's
The answer is
speech.
yes, we have
I
the
got
right
Nick
to
and
do
Vic on the
that
call
with
right now.
FIFA.
We're just
So
chilling.
we think that LA is going to be bad.
Come hang
or
out
we
with us.
think
Thank you
that
guys for
applies a
joining.
little bit to the Olympics too, but we'll talk about FIFA first. You know, FIFA
How the speech affects
is
the
very
markets.
hot. If we think there's any reason that, whether it's Boston or anywhere else, that they're not doing their job, we're going to take those World Cup games and move them someplace else.
Hey, can somebody check the
And
stream
Director
to see if
Patel,
you guys
There's
can
been so
hear?
many conspiracy theories swirling around about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do you have any updates for us, especially in light of all the online content that everyone's been talking about?
The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts, and we delivered in record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours. And if you put that in perspective to Luigi Mangione or the Boston Bomber, they took them 5 days and a police officer lost their life in their manhunt. We are running out absolutely every single lead, and the best thing we can do to honor my friend Charlie Kirk's life is to make sure that everyone involved is prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and that's what we're focused on, investigating the facts, not trading in conspiracy theories.
Okay?
Mr. President, thank you so much.
Thank you.
In light of China's export curbs on rare earths, do you view India
you have
as
to look at it.
a reliable partner
Wow.
going forward? And are you planning to meet Prime Minister Modi in Malaysia? Are you open to talks in terms of...
Yeah, sure. He's a friend of mine. We have a great relationship. He just said that 2
If
days
you guys can
ago,
hear
you
the
know.
chat, can you put a 1?
We have a
I
great
mean, if you guys can hear it
relationship.
properly,
No, we were
can you
not
put a 1 in
happy
the
with
chat
him
so I know
buying
everything's
oil
good?
from Russia, because that lets
What was
Russia
that?
continue on with this
I'm talking to the
ridiculous
chat.
war where they've lost 1.5 million people. By the way, Russia's lost 1.5 million people, soldiers mostly.
Let me lower this. It might be fucking
This is a
super
war
loud.
that should have never started, but it's a war that Russia should have won in the first week, and they're going into the 4th year. And I want to see it stop. So
Okay.
I was not happy that India was
Nice.
buying
Just
oil.
making sure you guys can hear.
And he assured me
We're just
today
chilling
that
right
they
now,
will not
just
be
watching the
buying oil
Trump
from
speech, see
Russia.
how it's going to
That's a
affect
big
the market,
stop.
see if we're going to have
Now
to
I gotta
switch
get
to metals or
China
not.
to do the same thing. You know, that is relatively easy compared
See if we're
what
going to have
we
to
just
switch to
did
trading
over
gold
the
or
last
silver tomorrow.
week in the Middle East. Middle East was 3,000 years, and we got it done. This is 3 years, and I think we'll get it done. I think that President Putin, I think he wants to get it done. We'll see. There's a great animosity between him and Zelensky. You probably have noticed. Right?
Let me
And
turn
it's,
on.
I think it's hurting
there's
the
no
process.
captions, okay.
Yeah, please.
Mr. President, thank you.
Yeah.
Curious, why did you authorize the CIA to go into Venezuela? And is there more information you can share about these strikes on the alleged...
Well, I can't do
drug
that,
bust in
but
the Caribbean?
I authorized for 2 reasons, really. Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America.
Oh,
They
shit.
came in through the, they came in through
Low
the border.
key, this
They
might
came in because
this
we
might
had
be
an
bad.
open border
What he's saying
policy.
right now.
And as soon as I heard that, I said, a lot of these countries, they're not the only country, but they're the worst abuser. And they've entered they've allowed thousands and thousands
What's the
of
chart? What's the chart looking like?
prisoners, mental institution, people from mental institutions, insane asylums, emptied out into the United States. We're bringing them back. but that's
MIM,
how
I
really
think,
bad.
with
And they
both.
did it at a level that
What?
probably not, many
Depending on what he
countries
says.
have done it, but
I
not
mean, I
like
think it's
Venezuela.
I think
They
it's
were
moving too much.
down and
It's
dirty. And
consolidated
the
right
other
now?
thing of drugs, we have a lot of
Yeah.
drugs coming in from Venezuela. And a lot of the Venezuelan drugs come in through the
Everything's
sea, so you
consolidation
get
at
to
the
see
moment.
that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna stop them by land also.
Does the CIA have authority to take out Maduro?
Oh, I don't want to answer a question like that. That's a ridiculous question for me to be given.
Yeah, please don't
Not
answer
really a
that.
ridiculous
If you answer that,
question, but
shit's gonna
wouldn't
drop.
it be a ridiculous question for me to answer?
Don't answer that, please.
But I think Venezuela's feeling heat, but I think a lot of other countries are feeling heat too. We're not going to let this country, our country, be ruined because other people want to drop, as you say, their worst. They have given us their worst. They've loaded up our country with prisoners, with mentally ill people that are seriously ill, criminally ill, and we're not going to take it. And so, I mean, it's just one of those things. And I can tell you, we've taken care of the sea. There's nobody, and we're watching. We're watching. And if we see it, we'll save it. Yeah, please.
On the ships, though, sir, there are Republicans and Democrats up on the Hill concerned that in the briefings they've gotten about those attacks, they're not necessarily getting information about who was on them and what exactly was on those ships. Can you ensure that?
Is he
they
talking
are
about the
given
ship that he shot a
information
fucking
that
missile
they
at?
were loaded up with drugs, and that's the thing that matters. When they're loaded up with drugs, they're fair game. And every one of those ships they're not ships, they're boats, they're speedboats. They're extremely fast, record-setting type speedboats. They cost a lot of money, and they have a lot of money because they're drug sellers. But
Record-setting
they know one
speedboats.
thing, and they all have the same thing in common. There's drug dust. They call it drug dust. They call it fentanyl dust all over the boat after those bombs go off. And you can take along. We know before. We know when they
Correct
go
me
out.
if I'm wrong though, but now all that
Yeah.
fentanyl's in the water,
Much
right?
information about
I
each
mean,
boat
yeah.
that goes out.
Like, if he did, wait, he shot it with a missile, right? So most likely, yeah.
Information. Yeah.
So you have Wilbur's Bulls here this week. What is?
Yeah, those fishes are chilling.
Those fishes are fucking high
to
as
who
shit.
Johnny and Tom,
They're still probably high.
are you considering other options, and will you speak with Vladimir Putin?
No, we're looking at other options. We are. President Zelensky's coming in.
The fucking swimming
Not a
around,
fan
yo,
of
this
the
water is
war.
watering right now.
Not a fan of the way it started. It should have never happened. It wouldn't have started if I were president. The election was rigged. And because of that, we lost, a lot of lives have been lost because of that war. Not American lives, but if I can save a lot of lives, that's why I'm in it. I want to save lives. I've had 8 wars. The Prime Minister of Pakistan got up the other day, said so beautifully, says, you saved millions of lives. He told that to a group of people right in this office. He said, the president saved millions of lives. And I think what he's referring to is the fact that that would have been with India nuclear war. That was getting very close. 7 planes, they don't talk about it, but 7 aircraft were shot down. In fact, we have the new ambassador to India right here. They're well represented. You better represent us, not them, okay? Yeah. But Sergio's going to do a great job. He's going to do a great job. But no, we'll be talking about the war with him, and we'll be talking about, I mean, they want to go offensive. I'll make a determination on that, but they would like to go offensive, you know that, and we'll have to make a determination.
President, question, given you have the FBI Director and Attorney General here today, Jim Jordan has asked Jack Smith to appear in front of the House Judiciary.
You mean deranged, Jack? He's a deranged individual, yeah.
He's asked him to.
Oh, shit.
Well, they should. I'm surprised it takes so long. We're talking about violent crime. What about the crime against a political opponent? That's what we have to talk about,
Jordan
too.
would like to understand the full extent to which the Biden-Harris Justice Department weaponized federal law enforcement.
Yes, let's talk about that.
What do you think the committee will find out?
is it?
Mr. Smith?
I think it was the worst weaponization of a political opponent in the history of the world, let alone this
I wasn't paying
country.
attention. What do you say?
And I hope that everybody's,
Something about Biden?
they're involved in it. I'm not. I'm the one that had to suffer through it and ultimately win. But what they did was criminal. Deranged Jack Smith, in my opinion, is a criminal. And I noticed his interviewer was, I think that was Weissman. And I hope they're going to look into Weissman too. Weissman's a bad guy. And he had somebody in Lisa, who was his puppet, worked in the office really as the top person. And I think that she should be looked at very strongly. There was tremendous criminal activity having to do. If we don't have fair elections in this country, we're not going to have a country. And I've said it from the beginning, fair elections and
Yo, look, the charge
borders.
going
And
up.
we need also fair press. because if you don't have fair press, it's very tough. And
Yeah, the chart's going up.
we've got the strongest border of anybody. Nobody has a border. We have a border where the numbers just came out again. You saw 0 people came in illegally. Now, we do take people into our country legally, but 0 people. But, you know, you're talking about a different subject. You're talking about political crime. They have committed massive political crime. I hope they're looking at Shifty Schiff. I hope they're looking at all these people. And I'm allowed to find out. I'm allowed to, you know, I'm, in theory, the chief law enforcement officer. But I have a very good, talented group. This is about something else. But I hope they're looking at political crime, because there's never been so much political crime
Yes,
against a
consolidating,
political
NQ.
opponent as what I had to go through. They raided my house in Florida. It was an illegal raid. I have a lawsuit that was doing very well. And when I became president, I said, I'm sort of suing myself. I don't know, how do you settle the lawsuit? I'll say, give me X dollars, right? And I don't know what to do with the lawsuit. It's a great lawsuit. And now I won. It sort of looks bad. I'm suing myself, right? So I don't know. But that was a lawsuit that was very strong, very powerful. They raided illegally my house in Florida, Mar-a-Lago. They went through the drawers of my
Oh, they
young
didn't have
son.
warrants.
They went through all of the cabinets and drawers of the First Lady. She walked in, she said, wow, what happened? Because she's very meticulous, and this wasn't so meticulous. As she looked into the drawers and she saw everything a mess. It's what they did against a person that just got out of office. And then you look at these corrupt people. You look at Hunter Biden, you look at the signature. As an example, the Europen. I just signed so many different things. An admiral, a 4-star general. I'm signing them left and right, the commissions. And by the way, I want to compliment John Thune and also Mike, a great speaker. But John Thune, all of a sudden I'm getting these things by the hundreds. I was getting one every 2 weeks. It would have been 4 years before you got them in more. You would have had some that didn't even get in, all because of Democrat obstruction. So John Thune did a great job. I must have signed 200 into the administration. We're just about caught up. It's amazing. And so compliments to John. He had to do some things that were very tough to do that he didn't want to do, but he was forced to do it by the Democrats. And as far as the shutdown's concerned, this is a Democrat Schumer shutdown. And he's trying to do it to get relevance back into the party because he's a loser. I've known him all his life. He's always been sort of a loser, but an intelligent one. But I think he's losing
bro.
IQ points
Fucking
with
roasting,
time.
dude.
I think that happens. I hope it hasn't happened with me. I know if it did.
I feel like every
You
press
guys will let
conference
me
he
know
does, he
that.
just fucking roasts somebody.
Question on violent crime, sir. Here in D.C., a judge
Wait, those-
has given 2 teenagers that beat up ex-village staffer Big Balls
Yeah.
probation.
That's incredible.
And no jail time. Is
That's
this justice?
Janine Pirro is doing a fantastic job, and she is beside herself because you have these radical left judges that they beat the hell out of this guy. And there was many people against this one guy who was really trying to protect his girlfriend. He didn't want his hooded over the door but they really beat him up badly. That just happened, right? Wow, that's terrible. I think the judge should be ashamed of himself. That's a big problem. You know, they can do their job and then they go into a court and the people are protected by these, I don't know where they come from. Where did these people come from? Where did the judges come from? I want to compliment on behalf of Pam and Todd and all of us because, Cash, I think that Janine
How's
has
the
done
chart
a
looking?
fantastic job. And the case I heard was like flawless. It's a flawless case.
Miami
They have
was
them
trying
on
to break
tape,
this
they
law,
have everything. And then a judge gives them a little
Yeah.
probation. Right? These are,
Yeah,
these
I
are
think,
rough guys.
I think everybody's too
And
afraid to trade right
They're
now.
young, and if that happens, they're going to grow up. They're going to be real bad. They're going to cause a lot of problems. Yeah, please. Yeah.
What were the conversations like with Prime Minister Modi and the other?
I think they were great. He reported to me that he's a great man, you know. Modi is a great man. That he loves Trump. Now, I don't know if the word love, I don't want you to take that any different. I don't want to destroy his political career, okay? But you have to understand, I've watched India for years. It's an incredible country. And every single year you'd have a new leader. I mean, some would be in there for a few months. And this was year after year after year. And my friend has been there now for a long time. And he's assured me there will be no oil purchased from Russia. I don't know, maybe that's a breaking story. Can I say that? Would you say? There will be no oil. He's not buying his oil from Russia. It started. You know, you can't do it immediately. It's a little bit of a process. but the process is going to be over with soon. And all we want from President Putin is stop killing Ukrainians and stop killing Russians, because he's killing a lot of Russians. Again,
Oh, this
it
might.
doesn't make him look good. It's a war that he should have won in 1 week.
He's
and
entering
he's now
some
going into his fourth
very
year.
sensitive topics.
That does not make this big so-called war machine look good. But he could make a settlement. We're willing to settle. I thought we had a deal. The hatred of the two leaders is very, it's an obstacle. It's an obstacle. There's no question about it. But I thought we had a deal 2 months ago. Who would think I created peace in the Middle East and can't get the two guys to settle? But I think we'll get them. But if India doesn't buy oil, it makes it much easier. And they're not going to buy. They assured me they will. Within a short period of time, they will not be buying oil from Russia. And they'll go back to Russia after the war's over. Jennifer?
On the shutdown, sir, are FBI officials being paid right now? Are all the FBI employees being paid, and are all the...
Well, that's what I understand. I hope so.
Thanks to your great work, Mr. President, the 1811 special agents at the FBI are to receive their paychecks.
Got a lot of people paid, actually. We got the people that we want paid. Okay? And we want the FBI paid. We want the military paid. We got the people that we want paid. And I'll tell you, the Democrats, they don't talk about this. You know, we're getting rid of programs that we didn't like, but that were negotiated in, but we didn't like. We're terminating those programs, and they're going to be terminated on a permanent basis. And it's thousands of people, and it's billions of dollars. We're getting rid of a lot of things that we never wanted because of the fact that they made this stupid move. And they don't want to talk about it. You know, they have their day coming up. I hear very few people are going to be there, by the way. But they have their day coming up, and they want to have their day in the sun. But
Thank you
they
guys
should
for
really
coming
make
to
a
kick it
deal.
with us,
So
by
what
the
we're
way.
doing, I mean, they call him Darth Vader,
like
but
8 of
he's
you guys
actually
in
a
the
very
chat.
nice person.
Thank you guys.
Russell Vogt. But Russell Vogt is really terminating tremendous numbers of Democrat projects. There's not only jobs, I mean, the project in Manhattan, the project in New York, it's billions and billions of dollars that Schumer has worked 20 years to get. It's terminated. Tell him it's terminated, Jennifer. All right.
On Hamas, sir, what is your
This fool, like,
understanding
ad-libs
of the
himself,
pace of
dude.
returning the deceased hostages? Are you pleased
Well,
with
they're
that?
looking for him, absolutely. They're looking. So we have the living hostages all back. They returned some more today. It's a gruesome process. I almost hate to talk about it. But they're digging. They're actually digging. There are areas where they're digging and they're finding a lot of bodies. Then they have to separate the bodies. You wouldn't believe this. And some of those bodies have been in there a long time. And some of them are under rubble. They have to remove rubble. But
You guys
there are
good?
graves.
You guys are quiet as fuck.
Some are in tunnels that died in tunnels that are
I'm good.
way
Oh,
down
okay.
under the earth. And the tunnels are like 3 feet. Can you believe it? 3 feet high.
Watch the
They
dog.
lived like this for
Huh?
a long period of time.
Watch
It's a
the
horrible.
dog.
It's a
Oh.
horrible atrocity. At the same time, we, meaning Israel, but I knew everything they were doing pretty much. I knew most of the things they were doing, but they've killed probably 70,000 of these people, Hamas. And I said, it's time now. So we'll see what happens. We'll also see what happens. Your next question is going to be the weapons. We want the weapons to be given up, sacrificed, and they've agreed to do it. Now they have to do it. And if they don't do it, we'll do it.
CENTCOM today suggests that Hamas needs to hurry up and disarm and follow your company's plan.
Yeah.
That it was the head of CENTCOM saying that. Is that not a signal to Hamas, to the rest of the world, that at some point the U.S. military may more directly engage?
We won't need the U.S. military. We won't need it. We'll
Why
get
not just
involved
you?
because we're very much involved in it. If we weren't involved, there wouldn't be peace. If we didn't destroy the nuclear capability of Iran, that deal would have never happened for two reasons. The Arab nations would not have felt bold enough to do it.
Nick, you still there?
A very powerful, at that time, Iran is not powerful anymore, between what Israel and us did. Because, you know, the attack was, if you look at it, we helped
Nick?
them very much. They will be the first to tell you, including shooting down thousands of drones that were
Still
coming
bad,
into
but-
Israel. You know, we shot them
Oh.
down.
I can hear you.
We were shooting them down like it was.
Probably want to
targeted
rush
us,
you.
But we shot down thousands of drones and missiles also going into Israel. But between what we did to Iran that way with the, conventional, we will call it, and what see that beautiful plane, that B-2, I noticed it on the desk. I always thought it was beautiful, but I never understood it. Now I understand. It took in hundreds of thousands of bombs in the form of two, but hundreds of thousands of pounds of bombs. And every single bomb hit perfectly. Then they sent Tomahawks in. They sent 30 Tomahawks on top of it. And that was totally, CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't as bad as, as Trump said, because I said obliterated. Obliterated is not a strong enough word, actually. And you saw the Atomic Energy Commission came out and said the word obliteration is very, very, think of it. They came in under potential fire. They entered Iran airspace late at night, in the dark, no moon. The moon was low for a reason. That's what time we picked it. Couldn't see anything. And they hit every target, and they weren't hit. Nobody saw that plane. That plane is stealth. Nobody saw it. The problem with that is it may be stealth today, but tomorrow it won't be. And we just ordered about 20 brand new B-2 bombers. It's unbelievable as a weapon. I know Putin, when I was riding with him in Alaska, we passed a lot of them. And he said, that really did the trick. I said, yeah, it did. It's amazing. Flying wing. It's
No reason for the U.S. military to get involved in Gaza.
No, I don't see that. No, I think we're going to handle it very well. We'll be helping Israel. But we have other countries that are now. We signed, many countries signed. And many of those countries relatively are very strong military powers. And Hamas has no support. See, Hamas had the support of Iran. And now Iran says, don't get us involved. The last time they got them involved didn't work out too well. So they used to have the support of Iran. Today, Iran they're trying to survive. When I heard the reports 2 weeks ago, Iran's looking to build a nuclear weapon, I said, don't worry about it. They got a lot of things they want to do before nuclear weapons. I said, the last thing they want to do is a nuclear weapon. It didn't work out. And if they did a nuclear weapon before they got even close, that site would be attacked and it would be wiped out.
Mr. President, you're meeting with President Xi in a few weeks.
Yeah.
If you can't come to an agreement or a deal at that meeting, are we in for a sustained trade war with China?
Well, we're in one now. Look, we have 100% tariff. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be
God, why the fuck did you say tariffs,
exposed
you
as being
dickhead?
a nothing. We would have no defense.
That's Nate's code
They've
word
used
for
tariffs on us, but we've
Going
never had
down.
anybody
Fucking
sitting in the
dickhead.
chair that felt the need to do it, and they've allowed us to be
Well,
$37
let's check
billion
gold and silver
in
then
debt.
when he talks about tariffs.
Yep. Looks like we're
tariffs
trading
are a
metals
very
tomorrow.
important tool for our defense, for our
Fuck,
national security.
dude.
If we don't have tariffs, we're not going to have national security.
I was hoping he
As
did
an
not say
example,
fucking tariffs, bro.
If you look at Pakistan,
That's like his favorite word right now.
That is his favorite word right now.
Negotiating a trade deal with Iran, and
Well.
Pakistan was going to be in line. And because
NQESYM
of
is
tariffs,
gonna
they
be
all
all
wanna
fucked tomorrow.
Negotiate much differently. We're making a good deal, and then I heard that they're shooting at each other, and I said during one of my conversations,
What does gold look like right now?
are you
Or
guys
silver?
going to go to war? Two nuclear powers. We are thinking about. I said,
Silver
here's
came
the
all
deal.
the way back
You go
up.
to war,
That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
put a
That's
200%
wild, bro.
break
See?
up.
I'm gonna stop you from doing any
Fucking
business in the United States.
done, bro.
I said it within 24 hours. The war
Fucking
ended.
man.
It would have been a nuclear war. And again, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, who was here 2 weeks ago, said that man saved many millions of lives in front of a whole group of people because he thought it was going to be war.
Here we go again.
But when it came to war or having to pay massive tariffs, the tariffs.
how many times you wanna
overrode.
say
That's
tariffs,
why it's
bro?
so important. Not only the money, we're taking in.
Every time he says
trillions of
tariff, that shit
dollars,
drops
not
100
only the
points.
money, the power to keep peace, the power to be used for good is enormous. But a lot of people didn't understand tariffs. It's also made us very rich. We have a big case coming up in the Supreme Court, and I will tell you,
There goes silver.
that's one of the most important cases in the history of our country. Because if we don't win that case, we will be a weakened, troubled, financial mess for many, many years to come. I don't even know if survivable is a good term. And if we do, we're going to be the most powerful economic country in the world. And all we're doing is using them as a defense against what took place for many years. China would charge us tariffs. It was incredible, but we weren't allowed to charge. We're allowed to do whatever we want. We just had presidents that didn't want to do it for whatever reason. And it was nothing. But of the 8 wars, I was saying 7, of the 8 wars, I would say tariffs are
Silver's going back into breakout right now.
Yep.
for me ending
one?
6 of them. 5 or 6.
Silver.
Without the
Silver.
tariffs, you have wars raging all over the world. With the tariffs, other than Russia, we have no wars out there. And we made a lot of good friends too. Tariffs are so important to our new. Our,
We got more
our
volume in the
national
market
security.
again.
If
We're
we
coming
don't
back.
have tariffs, we don't have national security. Our country would suffer a level that, yeah, because they use so strongly on us. As an example, the European Union, they won't take
Yo,
our cars, they
fucking
won't
gold,
take our
dude.
agriculture, they won't take anything. But they send their cars in, Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, by the millions. We don't send any cars. We don't take them.
This dude.
They were tariffing us
He fucking
out.
went into the chat and was like, still no answer on
Agricultural
chicken
product,
nuggets.
They don't take our agriculture. They want their farmers. But it was
I don't
very
do
unfair,
one-on-one
and they were
mentoring, bro.
tariffing
I'm
our
sorry.
product. They're keeping up by using tariffs.
I'm
And we
only
didn't use it when I
mentoring
used
Victor and Nick because they're my
And now
homies.
we made one of the great deals with you.
And it's fun, you know. We're
$650
bonding.
billion
It's
they
fun
pay
for us.
us. And, we've evened it out. It's really a good thing to see. And you have to understand, they've all signed. Japan, South Korea. I mean, South Korea, $350 billion up front. Japan, $650 billion.
Bitcoin? What's Bitcoin doing?
And they've all agreed to it. They're all happy. But before, it was a total ripoff. And if we don't have the use of tariffs, we have no national security. This country will have no financial security, will not have national security. And the people that brought the lawsuit are people that are aligned with foreign nations that are now
Oh, there
being
you go.
treated
Oh,
fairly
there you
as
go.
opposed
Look at
to
it.
just
Look,
ripping us
it's
off.
already
and ripping
starting,
us
bro. It's already starting.
so,
NQ,
but if we,
bro.
don't, if we are not allowed to use what other people use against us, there's no defense. It'll be a disaster
Damn.
for America. That's why I think I'm going to go to the
Oh my God,
Supreme
ES
Court
is
to watch it.
dropping now.
I've not done that, and I had
ES
some pretty big
NQ,
cases.
what's YM doing?
I think it's one of the most important
Oh, wow,
cases
there it
ever
goes.
brought, because we will be defenseless
YM
against
is
the world.
just consolidated. Bro, that candle is just not moving, dude. It's just stuck.
Did you have one? Yes, please.
Probably gonna have a big impulse move right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. If it breaks through that resistance right there, yeah, it's
A lot of good people in that group. I know all of them, actually. I haven't made a decision on that, but you have
Yo.
some very good people in the Georgia Senate race.
That's so crazy, dude.
No, I know, the governor has, and he's spoken to me about it a lot. He likes that candidate a lot.
I'm just playing, bro.
And, I
I was just
understand
giving you
that.
shit.
I
I
haven't made a
appreciate the
decision.
videos as it is.
But I'm
Well, I'm
following
glad they're
that
helping
race
you,
very
Victor.
carefully. I think it's very important for Georgia.
I wasn't-
to get
I
a
wasn't
real
taking it too
senator,
serious.
Because the senator
It's
they
just
have
funny
now
that you
is
were talking about the chicken
horrible
nuggets.
senator. He allows all the crime, all the borders.
No, not
have
you,
open
Victor, this
borders.
Victor.
I mean, it's
The one on
awful.
chat.
It's a disaster. That's not representative of the people of Georgia. I know the people of Georgia. I won Georgia 3 times, but they say twice. Okay, I won it very big the last time, and I won it big the first time, and I won it big the second time. But we had criminals that didn't allow. I mean, I hope they're going to go into that. I hope they go into the votes which are being stored in Fulton County, and take a real look at those votes. Okay, because I won it the second time too. But I know Georgia very well. I love
Yo,
Georgia.
gold is
Those
pumping
people
right
are
now.
great.
I'm not even looking at the chart. I
And
just
they
see the
deserve a
fucking
good
percentage.
senator, because the man they have now is a weak, ineffective
1.7.
person.
It was at like 1.6 earlier.
Any Republican presidents about this bill?
By the way, you won Georgia 3 times. Just
Yeah, I agree.
1.6,
He's
1.72.
the media.
For someone that
He's the
spends
media.
a lot of time in Georgia, I believe you won that.
Yo, gold. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at gold,
You
bro.
know. I know I won too. Oh, we have the
1.8.
great Newt Gingrich. Newt, you agree with us? Good. Otherwise, I'd have him dismissed immediately from the. You know, his wife, as you know, is becoming an ambassador to a great.
Oh my
country.
gosh,
So
bro.
congratulations. So we're going to take a
What's
picture.
Silver doing?
And
Silver
the
is about to
reason I'm
break
doing it,
out and go
He speaks so
crazy.
well of me. He said, "I'll go down as the greatest president in history," and then he blew it. He said, "I'm
Yeah.
not sure."
That's
If I
it,
put him
bro.
above
Tomorrow
Washington or
tomorrow is
Lincoln.
medals.
So I'm not that happy about that, dude.
I got a question
about the weaponization of the DOJ. The media often says your department is weaponizing the DOJ.
That's
Now,
the opposite.
It's the opposite. Todd, you represented President Trump and probably the greatest weaponization of the DOJ by Alvin Bragg. You know firsthand, if you can describe what you saw under the Biden administration and how they weaponized the DOJ.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard to describe what happened in those last 4 years since President Trump. Alvin Bragg, a local prosecutor, his office staffed by somebody who's very Jack Smith, picked as a special counsel, staffs his entire office with DOJ prosecutors. And then there are countless things that happen. All in writing, most of them on the ground, that require no
Damn, bro, we got
complete abomination of
Trump speech and then FOMC tomorrow. That's a fucking double whammy, dog.
This department weaponizes.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
What time are they?
Because there's no
FOMC is. I'm fucking lagging. There you go. FOMC is at 1 p.m.
And say that that's weaponization, and yet remain
Oh, shit.
eerily silent about what happened for the past 3 years. I mean, we read these articles and giggle.
Oh, it's trying to break through
That people really think
again.
what they did to him. Not once, not twice. I'm still counting 3, 4 times. But we're the ones that are weaponizing. So this man is not weaponizing the Department of Justice. We're not weaponizing the Department of Justice. It's the opposite. I mean, and also.
Bunch in silver clothes above.
Because we all live the past 4 years.
Orb again.
So listen.
They never want to bring up the details. But I watch the fake news, and oh, he's weaponized. And he wants to send them to prison. He wants all this. They indicted me like 5 times. I took a mug shot. Who would have thought it turned out to my favor? Because it was a good shot. But I had to take a mug shot. It's right out there on the door. New York Post.
This fool
Front page of every paper in the world.
is a good shot. It's right outside on the door.
He's
This fool.
acting very, very tough. He's acting unfair. Let me tell you, if they've been nice to anybody, it's to those criminals. Because they are so good having to do with all of the things we're talking about today with violent crime. But if anything, I think this Justice Department has been so respectful of the law. Because the other Justice Department...
Yeah, we're trading gold tomorrow. Fuck that.
With Rita or Lisa and all of that scum.
I'm not risking it.
Real scum.
It's gonna be
What they
wicked as
did
shit
to
tomorrow for sure.
The political opponent of a guy that has a seriously low IQ. Now, in his case, it was low based on
Yo,
his
low key,
career,
he said
but
mugshot,
it
and
got
the
real
fucking gold started dropping.
Okay, it was descending rapidly. But what they
It's back to
did
1.6.
to go after his
It was almost at 2%.
opponent is legendary. Worse than any third world country, Banana Republic. And what we're doing.
Oh, Banana Republic stock about to jump.
Nothing. They write stories. Why aren't they doing this? And we'll leave. I don't have to leave it up to them, but I choose to at this moment, at least. But there's never been anybody treated in the history of politics. You know, they say the 2 worst treated presidents by the media, etc., was that man right there, the late great.
The silver on Orb, like it was like resistant at the bottom,
Andrew
broke
Jackson.
through. Now it's resistant at
They
the
say
top.
Andrew
That's fine.
Jackson was treated terribly. They give him number 1 and number 2, but that was before I came along, Newt. I say I have number 1 times 10. Nobody's been treated like I've been treated. And I did a great job. You know, we had a great first term. And we had one of the most successful economies in history, et cetera. I rebuilt the military. We did a tremendous amount. The last part, we had a horrible thing called COVID, and we handled that well. We made ventilators for nations all over the world. We did a great job. Probably never get credit for it. Look at the therapeutics, the Regeneron, all the different things, the vaccines, all the things we did. We did a great job, but we had to focus on that. But we had the best economy in the history of our country. We're blowing it away right now. Look at the stock market. It hit another all-time high today. That's 48 days out of the few days that I've served. 48 days have already hit record highs. And we have, maybe most importantly, the number, we have now, I was saying 17, it's over $18 trillion is being poured into our country. It's because of the election and because of tariffs. Without the tariffs, you wouldn't have probably 18 cents. It's because of the tariffs, because there are no tariffs if they build in our country.
All right, but I want to, if you're going to talk about tariffs,
so we have medical companies coming on. We have the AI.
I heard you were going to give us 2K.
China in AI. Everybody said that's impossible.
Can you speak on that, please?
I'm letting these massive plants build their own electric generating plants. They're becoming utilities.
I heard we were about to get a stimulus package.
Maybe they'll make more money with that. Who knows? But they're building their own electric because we have an old.
I don't know, but I remember seeing something about like
China,
him saying like we made so much money
AI,
off tariffs that we're gonna get a 2K stimulus package.
That's the new internet. That's the new whatever. So we're very happy.
Fucking drop that shit, dog! Like a fucking new Pokemon pack.
They're doing, but when you tell me about attacking a political opponent, there's never been, and I'm a legitimate opponent. I watched my son. He's got the #1 best-selling book now. My son Eric is a wonderful kid. That guy spent so much time with subpoenas. He got more subpoenas than anybody in the history of our country. Think of it. And he's an innocent, good boy. He's a
Hell
good
yeah,
kid.
I need
He's
that.
always been a good kid. All of my
Free
children
2K?
are good.
Fuck
They went
that.
through
Yeah, hell
hell.
yeah.
My children went through federal
Throw that shit
grand
straight into
juries
a live account.
Think of it. You have Adam Schiff and Hillary Clinton and others make up a hoax and then wanting to put, so they know it's a hoax, and they go before the press, say Donald Trump Jr. will go to jail because of what he's done with Russia. I'll never forget, I get a call from my son Don, and he said, Dad, I'm being accused of something with Russia. I don't know anything about Russia. He
I
didn't
want to
know
read the
anything
chat.
about-
What's the chat saying?
Think of it, how bad they are. They say he'll go to prison for the rest
See what
of
the
his
live
life.
chat is saying.
He knew nothing about it. On a hoax, the Russian hoax, Russia hoax. On a story.
Everybody's
that
like, buy the
they
dip,
made
buy the
up.
dip.
And they made it up in order to explain why Hillary Clinton lost an election that she lost by pretty good numbers. This second one, actually the second one was even better, but the third one, this one was too big to rig. It was just too big to rig. They would have rigged. They tried to rig it. But think of it. They want to send my children to jail, but they were after Don in particular. I'll never forget Adam Shifty Schiff, a total crooked guy, lying in Congress, making up a phone conversation that I have with you, totally made up. Then when he heard it was taped, he wanted to disappear.
With big pumps
and
that
Nancy
happen
Pelosi
for
went
news,
crazy
are
because they
you more
wanted to
biased
impeach
for
me
downtrend or
based on
strat
the
for the
conversation
next
that
day,
was
or
made
does
up.
market
When they heard the
regulate to
tape,
normal
everybody,
levels
you know, I
and you're
won
not
it
worried about it?
unanimously, the Republican Party. I got every single vote, something that never happens.
Most of the time, when it
I
pumps
beat it.
big like that,
But
I normally
think of
just
it, they
wait for
want
the
to put
short.
my son in jail for something that
I
they
wait for the
made
correction,
up. So they know
the
they
secondary
made it
trend
up.
to finish,
And they
then
say
I'll
he
probably
will
take a buy
serve
after that.
the rest
But
of
you
his
could also
life
trade
in prison.
the short
These are
too.
sick, bad people. And don't tell me about
But with
us
the
going
TGB
after them.
strategy,
If
it doesn't
anything,
really
we're-
matter.
We've been very, very soft.
Because you're
I
trading
wouldn't be
the
that soft,
930
I'll tell you
candle.
that. Thank you very much, everybody.
If you're trading like more intraday, then it kind of matters.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's great to be in this beautiful Oval Office.
Everybody's like, buy gold, gold calls,
so
NQ shorts.
nice. Compliments, and you see outside how that's come out. It's been great.
Sell
We
gold,
make a
huh?
lot of improvements to the White House, and we're doing that. One of the things you should be looking at is the
Puts is
Palm
buy,
Court,
right? I can't remember.
because that's been
I
totally
think puts
redone.
is
So we
buy
like to
and
preserve
call.
and make better the White House. And that's really what's happened, and we're getting tremendous reviews, and we appreciate it. But we're here for a different reason. It's called Operation Summer Heat, which is an appropriate term in light of what we're doing. And early yesterday morning, I returned from the Middle East, where we celebrated a historic agreement to end years of suffering and conflict. Amazing. Every country came together. And even the enemies came out and totally endorsed it. Everybody, I've never seen anything like it. Nobody's seen anything like it. And just as we are forging peace and stability abroad, we are also restoring peace and safety
TGB is
and
the
stability
Nickelodeon
at
name
home.
for the
And you
strategy.
see that in Washington, D.C., maybe better than any place. 'cause
TGS
we got
is the
there
real
within
name.
12
It's that good
days,
shit.
It was very good. And within 30 days, it's been as safe as any city in the country. It's been great. Took out 1,700 people, got them out. These are career criminals in many cases, and people that shouldn't have been allowed in by the Biden administration. Historically, the summer months have been a time when
I mean, they are right though. That's
violent
exactly what I'm
crime
going to
soar,
do.
as you know. but not under President Trump. Today
Everybody's saying
we're
wait for gold
announcing
sell.
the results
That's exactly
of
what
a
I'm gonna
sweeping
do.
law enforcement effort known as Operation Summer Heat. We were in many cities that people didn't know about.
Yep. That's
We
what we're
kept it a
doing
little
tomorrow.
quiet, and
Taking the cell.
it had a big impact, and you'll hear
I'm looking
that
for cells
in a
tomorrow for
second.
sure.
But over the past few months, FBI offices in all 50 states made crushing violent crime a top enforcement priority. That's what they did, rounding up and arresting thousands of the most violent and dangerous criminals. And these are among the most dangerous and violent people in the world. They were allowed, in many cases, not in all cases, but in many cases, they were allowed in by a very foolish, actually stupid, open border policy. Just anybody could have come in. They emptied out their jails, their prisons, their mental institutions. They emptied them into our country. And the people behind me have done an incredible job, because if we didn't have that administration, it would have been so much easier. They allowed millions of people in this country that shouldn't have been allowed, including over 11,000 murderers, half of whom murdered more than one person. And many of them are gone now, or they're put in prison, because we don't want to have them come back. So we literally put them in our prison, which we don't want to do. But we bring them back to their countries. Working with state and local partners, the FBI arrested over 8,000 violent criminals during the course of this period. In major cities like in New Orleans, Nashville, we saw a 250% increase in arrests. And we really went after the bad ones. These include 725 individuals wanted for
everybody in the
violent
chat
crimes
is
against
saying,
children and
buy
murderers.
gold, buy gold.
These arrests are
Guaranteed
in
they're
addition
all
to the work
stopping,
of our
getting hit stop loss,
historic
bro.
federal task forces that make DC Safe
There's nothing
Task
to the
Force
left.
has been
You're just
unbelievable.
gambling
I
if
mean,
you're
the
buying.
job they've done, it's incredible. And it's been so nice, because so many
Can't wait
people,
for
they're
that
going
week,
out
yeah.
to dinner, they're having dinners.
correction, yeah.
They didn't go out for 4 years. And now they're going out 3 times a week. Restaurants are opening, restaurants are full, and usually that means a lot of good things, but restaurants that were closed are now opening up, and everybody's happy. It's nobody's ever seen anything like it, actually, and everybody feels safe. You can have a child walk right through the middle of Washington, D.C., and nothing's going to happen. We were losing more than one person a week in they're being killed on an average of over one a week. The Make DC Safe Task Force.
Somebody
has
said,
been
what's stop
incredible.
loss for gold?
And the Make Memphis Safe Task Force is having very similar results. It's much earlier, but we've been there for a week and a half, but I'm hearing the results are pretty incredible, and you'll hear about that. They're mobilizing more than 20 federal agencies for the largest law enforcement operation targeting violent criminals in American history. As a result of these efforts, violent crime declined nearly 20%
Yo, low-key, I'm kinda hungry. I
nationwide
kinda want
compared
some
to
more
the
chicken
same
nuggets,
period
dude.
last year, and it was the safest and most peaceful summer.
I think I'm gonna
in 2
get Wendy's
decades.
chicken
And
nuggets this
honestly, we haven't really even gotten going
Yeah,
yet.
I heard it's
We
healthier.
didn't have to fight all of
Yeah.
these
I
radical
don't know if they're
left
healthier,
governors.
but they
We
taste
could have
better.
Chicago taken care
I
of,
heard
as
you're
an
healthier.
example.
Hold on.
They had in
Like
a
the
short
spicy chicken
period of
nuggets,
time,
fire, dude.
4,000 murders in Chicago, and we have to listen to this man stand up and say that we're bad people. And the people of Chicago are walking around with MAGA hats. You have women, beautiful black women, walking around with MAGA hats. Please let the president in, and we don't care how he does it. They're not interested in National Guard or Army, Navy. bring
Yeah,
them in.
gold and silver
Marines,
are
bring in the
when
Marines.
safe-
They just want the crime to stop.
Market
And more
closes
so
in like
because
an
of the
hour.
success that we had in D.C. I think if we didn't have that success, nobody would.
Yeah,
even
once Asia
believe
session
it.
opens, guaranteed
So I
gold and
want to
silver are gonna
congratulate all
fucking
of the incredible law
go
enforcement
nuts.
professionals joining us today, especially Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's terrific, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who is a fantastic legal talent. He really is. He's a great guy, too. And, of course, FBI Director Kash Patel. They have worked so hard on this and other things. Since the start of the administration, the FBI has arrested over 23,000 violent criminals, more than double the number arrested in the final year of the Biden disaster. The FBI has also destroyed or severely disrupted more than 170 organized criminal enterprises and gangs. 1,600
Wait, what the fuck
of
happened
the
to
most
Biden? I
violent
haven't
gangs
fucking seen that
and
for.
confiscated over 6,000 illegal firearms, and they've tracked
bro.
down and arrested 4 fugitives on the most
Like, that fool just
wanted
straight
list.
disappeared.
4 of the most wanted. Actually, 2 of them were the most wanted fugitives in the world. there's still much more work to be done, which is why the FBI continues to work alongside the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of War to defend, and Pete Hegseth has been fantastic, by the way, on this too, on other things, but on this too, to defend law and order and combat violent crime, arrest illegal aliens, and make American cities the safest in the world. And when I campaigned, I talked about crime, but I never knew that we were going to get into it like we did. You know, I mean, I used to watch these cities with the murders. Chicago recently had one deal where they had 11 murders in one weekend, and they said, well, yeah, but it was a holiday weekend. They actually told me that was the reason. Like it was okay because it was a holiday. It was Labor Day. These people are the worst. They really have to, they better, I tell you what, the people in Chicago and the people in places like that can be fixed.
Bitcoin
At some
is
point,
going
it
nuts
gets to
right
where
now.
you can't fix it anymore. It's too far gone. And we have some cities like that.
The market is
But these
closed.
are great cities that could be fixed. I'm
Thank
going to
you
be
for that.
strongly recommending, at the request of government officials, which is always nice, that you
Yeah,
start looking
Bitcoin
at
is
San
going nuts,
Francisco.
dude.
I think
Holy
we
crap.
can make San Francisco. There's one of our great cities 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and now it's a mess. And we have great support in San Francisco, so I'd like to recommend that for inclusion, maybe in your next group. You'll get great support. Every American deserves to live in a community where they're not afraid of being mugged, murdered, robbed, raped, assaulted, or shot. And that's exactly what our administration is working to deliver. I didn't realize I was going to make this such a big factor in the I didn't really campaign. I campaigned on crime, but I never thought we'd go into every city and take a really safe city that we've all been living with for years and make them safe. And now it's like a passion for me, and it's a passion for the people behind me. So I didn't get elected. I did get elected for crime, but I didn't get elected for what we're doing. This is many, many steps above. And I want to thank Stephen Miller, who's right back in the audience right there. I'd love to have him. I love watching him on television. I'd love to have him come up and explain his true feelings. Maybe not his truest feelings. That might be going a little bit too far. But Stephen, thank you for doing an unbelievable job. And the people of this country love you, I tell you. And they love what you say about crime and stopping crime. So now I'd like to ask Director Patel to say a few words, and then Pam and Todd also. And I just want to congratulate them. This is an amazing thing, and we're just at the start. We're going to go into other cities that we're not talking about purposely. We're getting ready to go in. And when they go in, like Cash as an example told me that people didn't even know. 5 months ago, they went into Chicago, and they started doing a lot of work in Chicago, and we brought the numbers down a little bit. And but that really was just preparatory work for what we're going to do with the surge. We're going to have a surge of strong, good people, patriots, and they're going to go in, they straighten it all out. So a lot of these cities we're already working on, but we don't do it with a big flavor. But in a little while, you're going to see some numbers that you're not going to believe. And I think you'll probably start with Memphis, because I'm hearing the numbers are much quicker than we even thought possible. But again, DC it speaks for itself. Chicago is going to be okay. We're going to save Chicago. And I told you, and I told them, a very respected man, the head of the Union Pacific, said, "Sir, save Chicago. It can be saved."
This fool is capping out
And the way
his
he said
ass,
it was
bro.
like, can you believe it? We're trying to save Chicago. But I understood exactly what he
He
wants.
said,
and that's what
"Ye
we're gonna do. We're
flying,
gonna
oh my
save
God,
all of
another
our
50K.
cities, and we're going to make them essentially crime-free.
I doubt you made another 50K
Like other
just now.
countries have crime-free. If you go all over the world, you go to the world, you hear Afghanistan and you hear all these different places. Our crime in certain cities is worse than anything they can even imagine. And we're not going to have that any longer. It's going to stop, and it stops right here. Cash, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. What I'd like to do is just highlight some of the outstanding work that the men and women of the FBI have been doing. And thanks to your brave leadership and the mandate you were given by the American people, not only defend the homeland, but crush violent crime, you tasked us with our great partners at the Department of Justice and the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General to start making arrests and bring prosecutions and safeguard our cities. And you said it, this is just the beginning. In just 7 months, I hope the media takes a look at every one of these charts, because these are the best numbers for fighting crime in U.S. history, and it's only 7 months in. And to do that, our vehicle to do it of choice was Operation Summer Heat, which the FBI architected to go after violent criminals. And in just a 3-month span, You had 8,700 arrests of violent criminals. You had 2,200 firearms seized off the streets permanently to safeguard our communities. You had 421 kilograms of fentanyl seized. Just to put that in perspective, that's enough to kill 55 million Americans alone. You had 45,000 kilograms of cocaine seized, and thanks to our Department of Justice partners, you had 2,100 indictments in 3 months, from June to September alone. Mr. President, that in and of itself would be historic for a 4-year presidency. You did that in 7 months because you let good cops be cops, and you partnered us with the right people at the Department of Justice to put the handcuffs on and bring them to court and put them in prison. And if that weren't enough, when you look at the year, for the entire 7-month period that we're talking about here, if you look at the past 4 years of the Biden administration, 16,000, 17,000, 15,000, 15,000. That's the number of arrests year over year of violent felons in this country for the Biden administration. Mr. President, in 7 months, you have 28,600 arrests of violent felons in just 7 months alone because of your leadership and the dedication of the men and women at the FBI who want to go out there and do the job they were prevented from doing because that department used to be weaponized and politicized. And this is what happens when you take out the fangs of weaponization. This number is historic by every metric. 28,000 people have been arrested, violent felons alone. And then when you go over there and look at some of these charts, if you don't mind, I'll just hop over here. Look at the metrics for not just violent crime, but the homeland. Mr. President, during your administration, the FBI has found and located 5,400 children. That is a 30% increase year to date over the last administration. Violent crimes against children arrests alone are up 10%. Gang arrests are up 210% in the last 7 months alone. And transnational organized crime, which Stephen Miller has been a great partner in.
He needs to fix his posture, dog. Look at him.
These numbers are historic just as a snapshot.
Full like a Nike check.
Just so people don't think we're focusing on violent crime alone, the national, Mr. President, your leadership has never been stronger. We have gone after espionage activities against our main counterparts in China, Russia, and Iran. In China alone, we've had over a 50% increase in espionage arrests alone in prosecution. In Iran, we have had a 50% increase, again, in espionage cases. And in Russia, we've had a 33% increase in espionage cases alone. When it comes to counterterrorism, year to date, we have 125 arrests this year versus 100 last year, year to date alone. And when it comes to the cyber criminal activities, which are some of the largest enterprises plaguing everyday Americans, we at the FBI have put out a mission to go after cyber criminals like never before. Last year, they had in total 191. This year, you already have 252 arrests. 52 arrests of violent cyber criminals who are stealing from senior citizens, who are violating our children's rights and freedoms, and who are violating everyday Americans. These programs are record. And two of the things I'll finish with that I'm most proud of, Mr. President, this FBI. Fentanyl. As you know, it's a scourge that's killing our youth, 100,000 plus a year. To date, the FBI has seized 1,900 kilograms of fentanyl. That's enough lethal doses to kill 127 million Americans alone. To date. And if that weren't enough, Mr. President, you said we have to go after the worst of the worst. And you empowered our Department of Justice, our Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, and the Deputy Director at the FBI, led the charge, not just on summer heat, but he also led the charge to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. These people have been on the run for years. And in 7 months, you captured not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of the FBI's most top 10 fugitives. 4. And just to put that in perspective, Mr. President, the Biden administration captured 4 in all of 4 years.
Damn, bro, you see her eyebrows, dog?
We got her in 2 months. This includes a narco trafficker. This includes a sex trafficker. This includes another first-degree murder and gangbang. These people were on the run because of the prior administration's reckless policies that destroyed our communities. You came in and with a mandate said, go after the worst of the worst. This is just the beginning. This is what happens when you let good cops be good cops with the FBI. Mr. President, I just want to thank you for your incredible leadership, our great partnership with prosecutors who know how to bring cases and make sure these arrests stick. And that's what the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General have led the charge across this country. Because arrests without prosecutions are meaningless. We are deterring criminals from doing this activity. We are preventing criminals from coming into America, and we are absolutely crushing violent crime like never before and defending this homeland, sir. And not to mention, I almost forgot this one. It took you, sir, 2 weeks to get the Abbey Bomber. Joe Biden had 4 years to look for him. You got him in 2 weeks, thanks to the interagency effort by the FBI and the CIA, went to Pakistan, and found 13 brave warriors who were sentenced to murder because of disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. They have justice, their families have a peace of mind, and we're going to continue to find the others, Mr. President. On behalf of the FBI, sir, I just want to thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very good, very impressive. Jen, would you like to say something, please?
President Trump, the men and women of law enforcement say two things to me repeatedly. First, you have taken the handcuffs off them and let them do their jobs, and you let cops be cops. That's why all this is happening. The director, the deputy director are working around the clock. All of these great men and women in the FBI, they have families at home, and they are working during a government shutdown right now. Many of them have small children. Many of them, I was talking to an agent this morning, many of them have babies at home, and they are working around the clock
Vic,
to
lower
not
your
only
volume a
keep
little
our
bit.
country, but our world safe. And that's what
Lower your volume a little
Operation
bit.
Summer Heat did.
What?
Thank you, Director, and to the Deputy Director for everything you did on behalf of the Department
Just
of
'cause
Justice.
I hear
and you're
your,
going to continue to keep doing.
your,
and they
your
set
audio.
the stage for what we're doing in Memphis. You're going to hear a lot more about that, our joint task force next week, but they set the stage for
What happened to
Memphis.
Nick?
And last
Still
night
left?
alone in Memphis, there were almost 70 arrests. There were 12 guns seized. And there was a 70-year-old man arrested as a result of our operation in Memphis who raped a child under the age of 3. That one case makes everything we're doing worthwhile. So
Wait.
thank you all for being here on behalf of both of us. Thank you, President Trump.
Didn't this shit happen already?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. So this is a great day, and I think there's stats that the director talked about which are important, but I want to give 2 examples of what Summer Heat has done that
Oh, yeah, this
actually
is done.
will
It's
apply
over.
hopefully to everybody in this room. The first
Wait, was
is
this even live? Like,
for
what the fuck is just
over
happening?
4 years during the last administration, there was a hotel in a town, the middle of a town in Alaska, that was being run as a drug den. There were over 1,000
Nick don't sell.
calls to
Yeah.
911 over 4.5 year period. There were multiple violent crimes, drug
Wait, did
dealers,
this shit-
overdoses,
didn't they talk
and
about this in the
murders
beginning?
at this one hotel, ruining a community. Summer Heat went in there. It's not only arrested
I can't
all
remember.
the participants that were controlling the hotel, but seized the hotel. And so that's one example
Click
of
on
what
it.
Summer Heat
Just click on
means
it.
to
it
everyday
says live.
Americans that just want to live in peace. The second
Okay.
example is a large narcotics trafficking group that was selling fentanyl in the state of Washington. They were shipping fentanyl using commercial aircraft, putting fentanyl pills and powder in suitcases, flying them from the southwest border, mostly Arizona, all the way to Washington. It had been going on for an extremely long time, and the entire organization was arrested. And I say those 2 examples because it's easy to look at the board and see 1,000 arrests. How much different is our communities now compared to the past 4 years? But there's actual life examples. Every one of these arrests means that our streets are safer,
Oh,
and
no,
that's
it's
because
live.
of the work of this administration, of
I don't
President
remember
Trump
this
and Director Patel. So I will tell you, Attorney General Bondi and I are together every day with Director Patel, figuring out ways that we can continue to do this work, and it's not going to stop. Like the Attorney General said, and like the President said, this is just the beginning, or phase 1, or a start, whatever you want to say. But it will continue on. So thank you, Mr. President, and thank you very much, Director Patel.
Mr. President, just one last thank you from the men and women at the FBI. You found a way to get these individuals paid during a government shutdown, our 1811 agents. So on behalf of the FBI, it's a great debt that we owe you, sir. They're now allowed to pay for their families, so thank you.
And the military. Good.
That's right.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, please? Brian, go ahead.
Mr. President, first of all, I know the feedback I'm getting from the American people, they want to say thank you. Law and order is not an option in this country. It's a mandate. So I know the American people thank you for that. In terms of the guns that have been taken off the street, do you have a number of how many guns were taken away from someone that had a prior felony or a previous crime that perhaps we can prosecute that? Because I know that wasn't the case under Joe Biden.
We don't take guns off the streets of people that are allowed to have guns.
No, we watched this already.
Every gun that we're taking off the street is because it belongs to somebody who is not allowed to have it. Could be a felon.
Cool.
Hold on. The fuck? Copyright, dog. Fuck out of here. I can't tell if that was old or new. Were we just watching some old shit?
Oh my
Forbes
God,
breaking news. Trump delivers remarks. Oh no. Yeah, that was good. That was live. Never mind.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's going to Iowa after that. Unless he's already in
Oh, okay.
Iowa. Because they're waiting for him to speak at Iowa right now.
Oh, okay.
What? President Trump delivers remarks on economy in Clive, Iowa. Forbes breaking news. Is this actually Forbes? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, I guess we watch this. But he's not even there yet.
What time is he gonna get there?
I don't know. I think I'm done though.
Okay.
Cause you have to go, right?
Well, technically, yeah, I have to go to my house right now.
Alright. So we'll just pick it up later.
Okay, I mean, either way, Nick's not here right now.
Yeah. Alright. Thank you guys for joining the stream.